Hey guys, welcome back behind the wire. We've got some updates for you on what's been going on around here. We got our hay meadows all hayed. Not near as much hay as last year, which was about half last year as what it usually is. So roughly a little bit more than a quarter of what it usually is. This drought is really starting to take its toll, but we're happy to have something. Got a few bales out of the deal. Our heifers that were out here at the house, they're gone now. They went back up to the ranch and I don't have grass here anymore for them, so I had to send them back to pasture up at the ranch down the road. So that's kind of sad, getting rid of our buddies, our summer buddies, but they're in a pretty good place now. There's a lot of grass there compared to here. But our project for tonight is gonna be something I have never done. I am a cattle rancher, not a farmer, and I'm going to be farming tonight for the first time ever. I've never really planted anything. So these are two little dry land patches that I have right next to the house up here at the pens where I calve heifers out. And I had somebody come drill in some rye last year and it never rained and it hardly came up this spring even. But I'm hoping for a better outcome than last year, and I'm gonna try it myself. So the goal out here is to get some rye and oats planted, drilled in here. It needs a season of winter to really get that tall growth. It'll grow a little bit, but if it hasn't had a season of winter, then it's not gonna reach its full potential. So this would be planting more so for the spring. And once that comes up in the spring, then I can kick heifers out here, save myself on hay, which I have a shortage of anyways, and calve out here. So this summer, since I grazed the rye off of here with these heifers that went back to the ranch, this dry land has just sat here growing a bunch of junk. So the first step, just gotta shred it down, get it going. So I've done a lot of shredding before. Really, the last week I've done a bunch of shredding. But now the big new thing to me in this whole formula of getting rye out there is planting the seeds. And I found a neighbor 6 miles down the road. I'm gonna call it 6.5 because it was 6.5, so I'm gonna take credit for that. And these rollers don't come off the ground, so I had to go pretty slow. And I checked it out. Everything seems to be turning. This is a John Deere Brunt grain drill. I got my seed put together at Green Cover Seed in Bladen, Nebraska, and they do a fine job there. But Bladen is pretty close to the feedlot where our 2022 spring calves are, so Ashlyn and I had to go check them out while we were there. This is Hank Jr. That's Lumpy right there. The one that doesn't have a lump on him. So our seed mixture calls for 78 pounds per acre, and it's mostly rye. So hopefully I'm doing this right and not wasting seed, but I go down here and there's rye, and I go over 78 pounds, 16 notches. And I looked here and they are both put on 16 notches. I think we're ready to go. I'm gonna pull this out into that field before I start putting any seed in here at all, because if there's any spills, I prefer it to be in the field rather than my driveway. Sure hope this stuff grows. We're just ready to see what happens. So we got finished up last night, and I just have to say, I really enjoyed running this thing. Seeing the seed fall, and I just think all we have to do now is just pray for rain, see what happens. But I'm pretty excited to have that done, and I think it's going to be fun to see what comes up. I have to be honest, when I first saw this setting in the weeds this tall, I was a little skeptical as to whether it would work or not, especially when I haven't been around these. I didn't know what I was getting into, but really, I think it worked pretty good. Seed depth was about where I wanted it. Some places I'm pretty soft, pretty sandy here, where harder ground seed wouldn't have gone quite so deep in. And some seed went a little bit deeper than I would have liked, but we'll just see what happens. I want to thank you guys for joining me. Remember, Jesus loves you, and I hope to see you next time right here, Behind the Wire.